All right, welcome back to the BFR podcast presented by Sports Mockery. You can get all your Chicago sports news over there. My name is Dave. I cover the Bears for SM. I'm joined by good friend Ficky, otherwise known as Justin now. You can see he got a haircut. Right? But Chicago Bears content creator, of course, is with us. And then we have Jack, our producer on the sticks, and also going to be, of course, doing the preview of the Bears versus Packers week. Was this 18 or 17?
18.
Week 18. Final game of the season, boys. It's been a dreadful year. Dreadful year. Honestly, it's been brutal. We were talking about off air how it's not really been that fun. But we do have Bears Packers final game of the season. Kind of poetic. And yeah, we'll get into that. But first, Ficky, how you doing, man? Anything different? You feel different?
Nah, same old. No, if you can't see right now, well, you're blind. Sorry, let me explain this for you. I used to have a lot of hair. And now it's gone. Not only did I cut off my hair, I have not had my hair this short since 2011. So basically, I haven't had my hair short since the Bears were good, in essence, right? So, well, were they even good in 2011? Yeah, those Cutler years. Yeah, they were decent. Okay. So this is all new to me. Why? You're probably wondering, why did I chop it all off? Because I wanted to do something like uncomfortable for the new year. It was like, hey, look. Let's switch it up. Unlike the Bears, I actually am like open for change, like, hey, maybe let's try something out and see if it works, And so now we're here. I will say, though, it is nice that my showers have cut down in time and washing my hair don't take an hour long anymore. I don't have to braid it out and all that. And it's weird. I didn't know this is what you guys can do. You can just put it on your hand and just right across like 2 seconds. What have I been missing out on? This is crazy.
The funny comment you posted obviously this like last week or something. I don't know. I mean, has it been a week now since you cut your hair?
That's a great question. I feel like I should.
Anyways, when you tweeted, you put a picture out. You said, hey, I forgot what you mentioned, but you just showed the photo. It was time for change. Anyways, the comments that we're talking about again off air. I think Seven said that the shampoo industry is in shambles. And that's one of the better comments.
That one's hilarious. Yours was good too. So I'm now addressing you as Justin moving forward.
Yeah. As you know, Vicky's first name is Justin, and so obviously I don't think I've ever called him Justin on this show. But moving forward, I think there's a possibility. We got to change it up. This is the Justin era, not the Fields, but
not the Fields.
Justin. So
Vicky, when the first buzz went through, like the first one happened, like was it like, oh shit? Like, what am I doing here? Or were you just like, I'm ready?
Good question.
Like locked in?
To be honest, there was so much hair that like the first one you don't even notice yet. Like, so I had to pick it all out. I'll send you guys a photo, but it was like out to here, froed out, and then it was like you had to take off like inches at a time. So I didn't really notice it, and I'm not watching because he turned me around away from the mirror on purpose, and it wasn't until it was all the way down. Like obviously, I'd still be trimmed up and things, but he turned me around, and that was like my first holy shit. But I did see the chunks of hair falling on the floor. That part was kind of like, oh my God. But I didn't really, I didn't really feel it until you like look in the mirror and you're like, who the fuck is this? So
yeah,
it was I was telling Dave, it was like, because I haven't had short hair in so long. So you just never know. Like when you switch something up, you don't really know how you're going to look.
Yeah.
I'm shaking in my boots the whole time. Like, please don't come out here looking like a milk dud or some shit. You know what I mean? Because you can't get it back. I'm seeing it fall on the floor. That is permanent. So
it'll take a bit.
It will. Yeah, just a couple years, a decade and a half. So
yeah, there's I like it, man. It's a good change. Especially, I mean, we're heading into the off season. You got to get rid of this. Honestly, the last couple of years during this pod, it's been brutal. So I like this change. We'll see if this is a new era for everybody, though. Bears versus Packers. Genuinely curious in the comments. Do you want the Bears to win this weekend, or are you rooting for them to lose? Because it is such a interesting complex. Because I don't know. Are the Packers playing their starters? I have not got any confirmation.
So. I haven't heard that they're not, so I'm assuming they are. And I think LaFleur has been in the past. In the past has started his players. So we'll see if that continues. But
and there's, as far as like what to play for, there's not much for the Packers. However, the Packers, they clinched their playoff berth. However, they could lock in the number 6 seed with a win and a Commanders loss or tie this weekend. So that alone, I think, I don't know what time they kick off, but the NFL typically does a pretty good job of trying to make it line up where there's not an advantage there. So that right there is maybe something to kind of, I mean, 6, 7 seed, not the biggest difference, but, or is there home field?
No, there isn't for 6, but I mean, depending on 6 or 7, it can determine where your
Who you
second
play
matchup
to?
is, right? Yeah. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
more important because if let's say 7 wins and 6 wins, 7 would go face the 1 seed, Detroit or Vikings, while the
Yeah.
Packers would face the 2 seed or whoever the highest.
And the
seed
Packers have not been able to beat. I think they haven't beat
Their only
Detroit
win's
or
us.
Minnesota.
It's just us.
And they're going
We
for the
gave-
second this year.
We gave the NFC North 6 wins. Well, about to be 6
It's
wins.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
It's very, very likely.
Well,
Now the
Fleur did
Bears.
confirm that the starters are playing.
Thank
Oh
you, Jack.
God, I'm kind of glad because if we beat them, at least it means something. Because I would hate the last thing I want is to beat Green Bay and not even be able to like feel good about it. Right? I
What
just
was
wouldn't
that? Do what?
beat Green Bay. I know, right?
Okay.
Um,
I didn't know
But the
that was a
Bears,
sentence.
what to play for, right? Outside of maybe just pride to beat Green Bay, especially if they're playing the starters, that's one thing. However, they actually have more incentive to lose this week. They can improve and finalize, basically lock in the number 9 pick in the draft with a loss. So they either can lock in the 9th pick with a loss and potentially even get better, depending on how the other results play out. I think they can get as high as a 6 seed, or is it
No,
4?
They can get the 4.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Technically, if the Giants win and everyone else after, so all the 4-win teams have to win, right? For you to jump
It's
all the way up.
unlikely. Yeah.
Well, of course, that's why they got 4 wins, right? So, but there is a chance that out of, I think it's 4-win teams, including the Jets, like one of them could get one. I'm saying one, we get lucky. One of them could, and we can move up to like 8, right? I think I think our window's really 8 and 9 because we're probably not going to beat the Packers. So, but still, you never know. Like that one spot that earlier on that's very impactful. We see it all the time.
Well, and another thing is outside of just the draft pick, because that's really all the Bears have to play for is one, losing is good this week, and they're pretty good at that. 2, pride,
great at
right?
that.
So they beat Green Bay. Maybe you feel good. Maybe even Ben Johnson feels a little bit better, right? I don't know. He was rooting for them to lose because that's a better draft pick. Let's be honest here. DJ Moore needs 120 receiving yards to reach 1,000 this season, which is kind of crazy because I know he's had an up and down year. 120 probably not going to happen. DeAndre Swift 106 rushing yards to reach 1,000 rushing yards on the season. So some interesting stuff. It's doable.
That's pretty impressive for how shoddy this line has been. I know it's not like what we were expecting from DeAndre, but like I know it's 18 games, but still to crack 1,000 with how bad this offense has been, it's kind of impressive.
Another thing, speaking of bad how offense, this is just random, but did you know that week 17 last week, it was the 3rd time this season that Chicago averaged more yards per run than per pass?
I don't doubt it. When we get to our 4K
Pro Football Network there.
When you get to our 4K tracker, you'll see exactly what games those
Crazy
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the shitting the bed games. And I think we've had 4 of them. So we got lucky on one of them that we were able to pass more than run.
Yeah.
But it has not been a good showing for this offense this year, unfortunately.
It's not. It has not. But hey, the season's almost over though. So
it is.
Thank God.
You know what? There's actually one game we really want to watch, and I think all of America is going to be watching because it got flexed to Sunday night. But that's Vikings Lions, and you might be wondering why, other than it just being an impactful game for who determines the 1 seed and who falls to the 5th seed. If Detroit wins, they get the bye, which means that Ben Johnson is able to be interviewed during that off week. So all Bears fans should be voting that Detroit wins.
Couldn't he decline and be like, hey, I'm trying to focus right now at hand. I'm not going to take any interviews. Is that possible? I know
it is.
But last year he did take an interview. Did he not?
I think yes. And I think it is. But a lot of time these coaches, especially the sought after ones, the ones that are in position, want to get ahead of the interview game so that they have all of the cards out in front of them and they get to decide what they want. You know what I mean? Instead of you being the 3rd guy in on the interview, they've already got an impression on the first 2 guys because you were playing still, right? Some of that they can't control, but I feel like Ben Johnson's going to want to have the leverage here. So, and speaking of that, before we go into the preview, Jack, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, and you too, Dave. So there's been a lot of reports about Ben Johnson and his suitable offers, right? Obviously, we know the big one's us, and then the second one is the Jaguars. What we've heard so far, multiple reports from multiple different people, kind of split 50-50. You have people like Albert Breer from Good Morning Quarterback or Football, I think, right? Or Monday Morning Football or whatever it is. Sorry. From
Monday
Sports
Morning
Illustrated.
Quarterback.
Thank you. Monday Morning Quarterback on Sports Illustrated. He was talking about how Jaguars seem to be like the more promising offer. Okay. So let's go the Jaguar route first. Then also recently, was it Mark Brunell, who used to be a quarterback for the Jaguars? A guy, a radio host that's close to him. I don't know the exact station. Sorry, probably a Jacksonville station, was saying, hey, he talked to Mark. Mark said, hey, Ben Johnson wants to come here, and then Mark would be the quarterback coach. So we have that bucket saying, hey, and I think friend of the pod, Kyle Long, was saying, hey, I kind of told you guys that Jaguars is a very real possibility. He didn't say that like it's the number one option, but kind of was saying, hey, this isn't just smoke and mirrors here. On the other end, you have someone like Tom Pelissero from NFL Network, who's very renowned. Like when stuff comes from him, it's just like Ian Rappaport. You're like, oh, that's probably Bond. He's saying that Chicago seems to be the more attractive job. So my question isn't which one Ben Johnson will choose, is actually which one is more appealing if you were Ben Johnson. Would it be the Chicago Bears? And you have to take in not only the roster construction, cap space, and picks, but also the dysfunction or lack thereof of the organization. So taking that all in, I'll start with you, Jack. If you're Ben Johnson, are you more attracted to the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence and what they have there, or the shit show we have here in Chicago?
I think the shit show is the right answer. I don't know what the Jags have. I mean, obviously Trevor's a decent player, but BTJ and then what? Like it's not, I don't know. There's not, I'd be very surprised if somebody like genuinely preferred. I would just say the roster in general, like compare our roster to the Jags. I don't know. And even just fans that coaches Ben himself, I don't know why they would pick Jacksonville over Chicago. I don't know what the appeal would be. Not only that, then obviously you have Caleb, he'll be a sophomore next year. And then, so then you're able to kind of like mold him into the player you want him to be rather than Trevor, who's been here since 2021.
That's fair. Dave, what about you?
It's an interesting one. When it comes to Ben Johnson, I don't think anybody truly knows where he's going to go. I think there's a lot of like kind of dumping as far as like maybe getting a bidding war, getting his numbers, maybe getting a bigger contract, kind of like a bidding war.
Yeah.
Between Jacksonville and Chicago. I think at the end of the day, Jacksonville they're sitting at the 5th pick. But they're 4-12 as well, just like the Bears, right? So they're all the way at the 5th pick because of strength of schedule. But if they lose, or if they win, obviously the Bears lose. They're gonna have a better draft pick as far as the first overall pick. The Bears also have a luxury of picks this year. I think they have 1 or 2 more than Jacksonville. Also, that Jaguars, as far as cap space, it's not even close. The Bears have the 5th most cap space. They're 18th.
18.
So and a lot of it is you got a rookie quarterback right now. And Caleb Williams on a rookie contract. Trevor Lawrence, you paid him. And honestly, I don't think anybody's sold on him being the guy, at least being a top 10 guy. Caleb Williams, I guarantee you there's people that are like, it's definitely a possibility. Even with a rough, crazy, disappointing season, not even all on him. And I'm excited to get to his, kind of review when we look at him and grade his season in depth. I can't wait to go through it because I think it has been a very up and down year, but there's been a lot of positives. But like you said, I don't think even being biased as we are Bears fans and we cover the team, I just don't feel like Jacksonville, not even a big market. No offense to Jacksonville. Chicago's a staple. You want to be the guy that wins in Chicago? You're going to be a legend. Look at Mike Ditka. Look at all these guys that come before him. Ben Johnson, if he is competitive, which I believe he is, and he wants a challenge, not just to go to Chicago, but I think it also ends up being the best spot for him because of the resources. And I don't know if GM Ryan Poles is going to be there, but he has done a good job at least setting up either himself or someone else, the next GM that is going to be aligned with Ben Johnson, where I think they could really make this thing, turn this thing around pretty quick. However, if the Bears top brass, if they are that bad, which we know they're dysfunctional, if they cost us Ben Johnson, then it's really, I think it's time to have a real conversation for change, because that is just unreal. You have the top guy, and he doesn't want to come to Chicago because he doesn't believe in the organization. Because I don't think the only reason he wouldn't come is because of that, not because of Caleb Williams, not because of the cap space or the draft picks. It would be because of the belief in the Bears to be able to allow him and put him in the best case to be successful. So, however, we've seen it before. The Bears are the Bears. They're a big market, charter franchise. I think at the end of the day, there's no guy that's going to choose Jacksonville over Chicago unless it is the Bears brass, an organization that I guess turns them away, which then it's time to go.
For sure.
Because there's no coming back from that.
I agree, but that probably won't happen. But I agree that's what should happen.
Yeah.
Probably won't. But there is one other piece which affects all three of us here, affects everyone in this world, and that is the green dollar bill. That Uncle Sam printed right there on the front. Money. Amar Khan has money, a lot of it, and is always been willing to dish it out. Now, I'm not saying, I'm just being devil's advocate here, right? If the McCaskies, we talked about this like way earlier, they're a little bit on the cheaper side, whether by choice or, I mean, if you're just looking at net worth, they're definitely way less than Amar. So they're already behind the bill on that. They just paid the most ever in their history. Think about this, right? They just paid the most. The contract for Matt Eberflus was the biggest they've ever paid a coach, and that was the worst coach in NFL history. You're on mute. Perfect way to end the season, guys. This is perfect.
Yeah.
But that was the biggest contract.
Kevin Warren, because I don't think his contract came out. I don't think we know how much it is. Do you think they paid decent money for him?
No, I thought it was. I thought they didn't know the years, but I thought they gave out the yearly. Like we didn't know I don't think we knew the length, but I thought the yearly was given out, and I could have sworn it was like 10 mil or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I definitely
looks like we knew the year, not the dollar.
Oh, is that it? No, because we didn't know the year because there was talks whether if it was 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah, correct. But that was found.
No, the only thing is that
Pro Football Network
the last thing is
5 year.
Yeah, and the only numbers we're getting is that he was credited with $3.7 million in his last year for the commissioner for Big Ten. But I don't think there's been anything about him being
not Warren.
CNO.
Not Warren. I don't know how much he's making. Sorry, I was talking Eberflus.
But that's what I'm talking about, because I feel like you'd have to pay decent money to pull him away, because I mean he's coveted. No, I know a lot of people don't like him.
For sure.
I don't know how people feel,
he's
but
getting at least 15 million.
That right there could maybe be a good sign that the Bears, hey, we're gonna pay top money for
that is
and
true.
No matter how you feel about Kevin Warren, he is respected. So
for sure. And that's a great point, right? That's on the other side, is that, hey, look, they're doing stuff. Just, talked about me change not only with me, but the Bears actually did make some changes the past couple of years, and they opened up the pocketbook for the coach, right? Whether it was it wasn't a good one. We know that, but they opened up their pocketbook for the coach, and they definitely opened up their pocketbook for a CEO, which they've never had. And like you said, this was the commissioner of the Big Ten, definitely making good money. So this was not a cheap hire. So again, that would be the biggest thing. And then this might be little, but could have an impact. I still think money talks, right? You're going to a division, you could run it. You could fucking run the AFC South. They're even like Texans, right? They look good last year. I still think they are like the best team in that division. But don't tell me after this season, right? We can't live 2 seasons ago. We know how the NFL works. Don't tell me you don't look at that division of the Colts, garbage. Texans, down year. Jacksonville, you obviously suck. And then who's the other one? The Titans. And you're telling me that you can't go in there? Like if you get Trevor Lawrence right, you go in there. It's a big if, but you could go in there.
Brian Thomas
division. Brian Thomas already looks good. You could run that division. Again, I think all of these are important and they are factors.
If you're a Bears fan,
money.
It's a threat. Jacksonville is definitely a threat. I personally, the big mark, I think there's just maybe too many things that are appealing for Chicago, because Jacksonville, top pick. Bears, top pick. Actually, I think they have better draft capital in 2025 as well. Free agency, it's not even close. You're also not paying a quarterback. You're not paying Caleb. And we've talked about it all last year about moving on from Justin. What's the most coveted thing in the NFL right now. It's a quarterback
Rookie
on
deal.
a rookie deal. And that right there, I understand the NFC North is insane, but every year is different. What is Minnesota going to do? Is JJ McCarthy going to be here next year? And he could very well just pick up right where Sam Darnold's right. But at the same time, if they stick with Darnold, they're probably going to trade JJ maybe. And if they do, that's more capital. Minnesota's going to be tough. Detroit, I think, is going to be good. And then, of course, Green Bay is Green Bay. So you're right. That division, that's pretty scary, but he knows it pretty well too.
Also, speaking of that division, then we can move on to we're going to continue talking about the division with the rival Packers here. But this game, 14-3, Vikings versus 14-3 Lions, will be the first time in NFL history that a 14-win team will not be the 1 seed. So we joked about how strong this division was before we even played a game in week 1. Going all the way back, we talked about how tough it is.
How it could be the best.
I don't think a single person thought that it would exceed our expectations.
It's Minnesota. Minnesota is the one that shocked me, dude. If you would have asked me, I would have said Bears are very minimum coming in third.
That's what we all said when we went back to our previous.
And instead, we are bottom, not even close. We should be relegated. We really should.
But I think that's why this offseason is so important, because why are they that good? Obviously, they have quality pieces, but someone who can take
they have pieces, a kicker. That's why.
Yeah, well, that too. Their kicker has come in handy. It has, so we'll give it to them. But they have Kevin O'Connell, and I'm sorry, you have pieces. Don't get me wrong, but you bring out the best of your players, and the prime example of that is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold improved, absolutely, but don't tell me Kevin O'Connell didn't look at him and say, hey, look, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses, let's play to your strengths, and he's playing to them. So,
the coaching in the NFC North is all class. It's high caliber. You probably are looking at Kevin O'Connell, Matt LaFleur, and then Campbell. And Campbell's probably the worst one on there, if we're being honest. It probably goes KOC or LaFleur depending on the year, probably, because they're both very, very good. I'll probably give the edge to Matt LaFleur just because he's done it longer. KOC is really, really good too, and he's obviously, I think he's going to be coach of the year. And you got Dan Campbell, who is awesome. But then you got the Bears, who we don't even have a coach right now. That just shows you the disparity in this division. Nothing against Thomas Brown, but I was wrong there. And he's in a bad spot. Let's be honest. Taking over this team, it's not fun. You're asking this guy to cure cancer essentially. This season's awful. And then there's the locker room report. I think what was that? Cole Kmet that came out today.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of putting the blinders on. I'm like, can we just get to the off season where it's more positive?
Yeah,
let's hire our coach. But that's some good stuff, Ficky. I swear to God, though, if we don't hire Ben Johnson, I'm gonna be pretty bummed.
Well, here, how about this, Jack? How are you gonna feel? Ben Johnson doesn't show up to the door, right? He doesn't walk into Hallis Hall, okay? And your next tier of options, you get one of these 3 people, okay? Your man, Mike Vrabel, but there's a risk that you're gonna get in him, right? Joe Brady and Liam Cohen. So you get 2 offensive minds and 1 defense, but a renowned coach, right?
Did you throw in the Minnesota's guy?
Flores?
Yeah, did you say Flores or
No,
Vrabel?
I put in Vrabel. Flores in there too. He's been
tossed.
I know
too?
Yeah. So
sorry, Jack.
You have 2 offensive minds, you have 2 defensive minds. I know obviously there's one preferred to the other, but let's go ahead and rank those and how upset would you be as your option B?
I'd probably go Joe Brady 1.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about Brian Flores. I know that he went through whatever in Miami. I can't exactly remember the coaching record or how the team actually played at that time.
It wasn't bad, but then the coach caused the GM was going to pay him, or was it the owner? Mark, the owner was going to pay him to lose games, and he said no. So
right. And then he's I think he's still suing the NFL, right? It's still ongoing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess I'll cop out and do the easy answer besides my 1. So I'll go Brady, Vrabel, Flores, Cohen.
Other tiers? Are there offense only, then tier Vrabel?
Yeah,
Flores?
I think that Joe Brady's I just really want an offensive mind. I know that we talked about, we've had some of them and Nagy and things, but to be honest, when we had Nagy, the offense looked good with what we had. Like we didn't really have a superstar team. Mitch was not the guy, and we still find a way to get 10+ wins. So I'm all for offense. I can't do the defense. I can't do the old defensive lineman, linebacker coaches anymore. I just really, I still wish the Shanahan thing was real. I'd go back to that. And if I could change that, if there's one thing I could change in the NFL, it'd be that like I could brainwash Kyle Shanahan into thinking that like, oh, I might want to go to Chicago. Could you imagine?
There was like when you like somehow you remember something where it's like someone says something and you just remember, you kind of like bring back to what you're, like a dream. Because like you don't remember your dreams, but sometimes like, oh, I remember this now. Actually, I dreamt about it. I think it was last night. Matt Nagy appeared in my dream for like a couple minutes. Oh. And the only thing he said, I know. That's what I'm talking about the Bears. And you know what? He looked at me. First of all, I was thinking about my tweets that I talked about. I was like, oh shit, stay cool. I think we met like at a bar or something. I was like, oh shit, it's Matt Nagy. And he was like, you miss me, don't you? And I was like, shit, this guy, dude, this guy.
Well, what a mic drop. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, and then I was thinking about like, Twitter, we lit him on fire, man. We ran him out of town. But it is kind of funny.
Man, what the grass isn't always greener.
No. But anyways, if for my list, honestly, Joe Brady and Liam Cohen, I just, as far as tier goes, like I just don't trust them. I don't really trust them like I do with like a Ben Johnson right now. That's weird. And so Vrabel, I would probably put him 1, and I think he's above both of those guys by a lot, in my opinion. I know he's defensive, but I just don't trust those guys. We don't know. It could be a Matt Nagy type situation. I guess Ben Johnson could as well, but from what we've heard in his pedigree and how he is talked about around the league, it's like a generational type coach. Like I hate to say it, but that's the kind of PR he's getting. It's nuts.
Yeah, I was gonna say the PR around Ben Johnson right now is like perfect. I understand.
I've not seen it, man.
I mean, in a long time. And his pedigree shows it. Like we've seen 3 years of his offense and what he's done, right? So like it's not only the PR, but we've seen at least from a play calling standpoint.
And we had a veteran quarterback. I would feel a little bit better with maybe Vrabel, and maybe Cohen and Brady. It's like, man, we got a rookie quarterback. You saw what happened with Shane Waldron. I like Ben Johnson, but I would go Vrabel 1. Honestly, and this might be weird, I'm probably going Flores 2. And I think there's a gap between Flores and Vrabel. And then give me those. You could honestly pick. I would probably go Joe Brady, Liam Cohen from Tampa. But I like what he's done with Baker too. So, but I would probably go defense with those guys just because like the Bears, they can't. How bad could it go? It could go so terribly. It can go wrong very fast with Cohen and Brady because Chicago's crazy, right? It will eat you up. Vrabel, I know he can handle it, and I believe Flores could as well. And I'm just not sold on those other two guys. So, but God, give me Ben Johnson. I don't like that you made me play that game.
Sorry,
Justin.
It's like a Saw game over here. Yeah, that was the Justin and me. I understand both sides. Like, I really do want offensive minded. But Dave, I think you said it perfectly. Like the risk mitigation, right? The floor of, no pun intended, Flores and Vrabel is much higher than the floor of of Cohen and Brady. But the ceiling might be higher with the offensive minds, right? Because the impact it can have on your quarterback, while it may not be the case with Vrabel and Flores. So really the question is, right, if you're missing out on Ben Johnson, does an organization that has been kind of dysfunctional, are you willing to take those type of risk for those coaches when it hasn't fared out particularly well? It's almost like the foundation of our house. Like if you're building a house, the foundation of our house is already kind of cracking, right? So you may not want to go out there and buy, the most expensive house because you don't know that it's going to withstand that flooring. Maybe you get something that's a little bit more solid, may not be the prettiest on the outside, but you know that it will last longer because our foundation's all effed up. So, or you just go with the best bet and get Ben Johnson. But again, that's kind of just want to put the hypothesis out there because speaking of cracked foundation, this team has let us down many of times in the offseason. Not last offseason, so maybe we started a streak here, but they have definitely disappointed us before. So I just want to kind of put that out there. So,
yeah.
All right, before we move forward to our read here, we do have Tito with the super chat. Appreciate Tito. Said $5 here. Said, Ficky, love the new do, my guy. We got Fresh Ficky, Dark Dave, and Erroneous Jack.
Fresh.
That's hilarious. That should be a shirt. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see those shirts like name, and name? That's great. I might be working on something. Love
Honestly, that's really good. I would rock that.
Hell yeah,
I don't
I
like
would rock
Dark
that.
Dave though. That's a little.
It's funny
Damn,
though.
right? It is funny.
No,
this
you
team, man.
bro. We'll
Hold
bring
on,
back the tapes. We might have to make a highlight reel of like that 3-game stretch.
They got me.
Where you were like, I hate
Here,
this team.
I'm taking a photo of this so we can remember the order he put it in.
If you paid me $100, I couldn't tell you what erroneous still meant after all this time.
That's perfect. That is
that's what we love.
That makes the shirt even better. And they said y'all should be getting paid for talking about this trash team. So appreciate it. Someday, YouTube, we appreciate the AdSense here. Google AdSense, we love that. But if you want to help us get paid, like Tito said, you can always give a super chat. We appreciate those. You don't have to, but we do appreciate that. Also, another way to help us get those AdSense and keep the show going and make it better and better for once this team gets good. I promise it will at some point. You guys can like and subscribe. Very free. Go ahead and give a thumbs up right now in the chat. Well, not thumbs up in the chat. Go ahead and like the video. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and give us a subscription. Please subscribe. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. But that's free. Really do appreciate that. Also, if you want to support us, you can go to bfrstore.com because we have some fire merch and we might be making a new shirt or here soon. Actually, we'll have some new stuff for the next season, which is going to be great. But if oh, this is the wrong one. My bad. Go to the bfrstore.com where you can buy hoodies, hats, jackets. Now that I've cut off my hair, I realized how cold your head gets. So I'm definitely buying a beanie as soon as possible because holy shit, it feels like I have another 6 cents. But if you want to stay bundled and warm, the stuff is cozy as hell. We do ship internationally. Michael, I got you on that. Go to the bfrstore.com. Bunch of great stuff there. All the proceeds go back to the show. We appreciate that. Also, if you want to join our ongoing community like Michael has, you can join our Patreon. And that's the BFR Den on Patreon.com. On there, we have monthly giveaways, private Zoom calls, mailbag episodes, and much, much more. We have 2 tiers. And our private Zoom call is for our elite tier, which is our Hall of Fame Grizzly tier. And then everything else falls within the rookie Grizzly tier. So let's give a shout out to our Hall of Fame Grizzly members. I know Michael's in the chat right now in the UK watching late as hell across the pond. Love the dedication, but go to sleep. We love you, but this team is not worth that. But shout out you, Michael, and then also Gage as well, the OG. And then we have our rookie Grizzlies as well, Alex, Brian, Chris, Jason, and Eston. And if you join, we'll go ahead and give you shout outs as well. The rookie tier to go in is $3. You get access to our private Discord. Also, you can join for free. We drop our monthly schedule so you can kind of see like what, the value you're getting. And if you're enticed, you're like, oh, I kind of like that. I want to be a part of it. Or you want to win a free sweatshirt, right? You can join. And so easy join, one click, boom, $3 and $10 a month. Not too bad. So appreciate that. All the support goes right back into the show. Now, no one win to hear, but I'm going to pass it off to Dave because he actually got some exciting news.
Yes. Yeah, we do have some exciting news. So we are another part. First of all, the show is sponsored by Sports Mockery. So all Chicago sports need, go over there, check it out. I write for them. Check out my work. And of course, this podcast doesn't happen without them. But really, really cool news. We are partnered now with Gridiron. They are a premier retailer specializing in football helmets and collectibles. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, Ficky, if that's cool.
Yeah.
They just offer a range of Chicago Bear items that stand out in just quality, authenticity. They are legit. And we're going to go ahead and share this screen real quick. Perfect. Thank you, Fick. Let's see here.
That was Jack.
You guys got it?
Thank you. Yep.
Oh, thank you, Jack. Appreciate you. So again, this is the website here. It is Green Gridiron. Really great stuff. I'm going to go through real quick. There's a lot more than just this, but of course you got the Chicago Bears Speed Authentic Helmet. They also do customizable. We got a Sports Mockery one on the way. Of course we got a Bears one. You can get the minis as well. Chicago Bears Riddle Speed
so
mini
cold.
helmet.
That's the only $40. That's
exactly,
the one I
man.
want to get. That's nice.
It's a desk one,
nice.
1936 throwback, $36. Good news is you can use code BFR to get money off your first order as well. So again, code BFR. We have the link in the description as well. So if you want to check it out later, I know Christmas is past, but if you're just looking for something, you got a little extra money to spend or Christmas money even, it's a really cool way to, I guess, support the Bears. I don't know if you want to right now, but one day they're going to be good. So you're going to want something, obviously, to show it off. So
also,
really cool
nice
stuff
thing
here.
nice thing to get signed. So if you ever in opportunities to get stuff like helmets are perfect. So
yeah,
it's a great opportunity as an investment.
Well,
as well,
with training camp, the off season.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm like, you bring a helmet up, they automatic players love signing those. So
Yeah. Speaking of signing, I mean, this is way off topic. Derrick Rose had a pop-up shop for his rose. He's
Yeah,
gonna
for his
he has like
flowers.
a rose business. That is so sick. But yeah, very, very good point. We have training camp a little ways away, of course, but of course the offseason, the draft, you're gonna see players all around the town, Chicago. So again, if you just want to check it out, the link's gonna be in the description. Shout out to Gridiron for again being a partner of the show. So we appreciate it.
Absolutely. I do want to bring this excuse me. This coming up from Jerome, because I think I agree completely. We have to get, like, you want to talk about change. You want to get this team excited. You imagine it was Ben Johnson. You get Ben Johnson in the offseason, whatever, you know, you get new players, and that's always exciting.
Detroit
and
has
then
the
they
white
announce, and they announce the polar bears, whatever we're calling them, with the white helmet.
He's so sick.
Best believe I'm getting one of those green Gridiron helmets in white.
I'm getting a jersey too.
100%.
I might get the pants.
Oh, this full episode.
Full.
We're gonna be rock. I'm
Week
have
one.
now that I can wear a helmet. I'm gonna have the helmet on. Dave's gonna be wearing the pants, and Jack will have the jersey on, and we're gonna rock it. So,
dude, it is so funny to see all these comments like, where do your hair go, Ficky? People are coming in with that, man. It's funny.
just like the Bears season, it's lost. How about that?
Yeah,
Okay,
or
so
cut
I
short,
tried that.
right?
Oh, I wish it was
Yeah,
cut
pretty
short,
good.
even shorter.
Oh yeah,
It should have ended. It
Well,
should have
it
ended
is.
at week 8. Yeah, fair enough.
Dude,
it basically ended nine weeks ago.
Our season ended after that Hail Mary. That's what's hilarious.
Did you think,
sad.
Jack?
No.
Did you think that we wouldn't win another game after the Commanders game?
I thought we were going to the NFC divisional, I guess. Like, worst case scenario was like divisional. Because at that point, we were 4-1?
4-2.
We
We were
were
4-2 going into it,
Okay,
and then 4-3. But we both agreed. All of us agreed. Yeah, the Patriots and then Arizona coming up, and you're like, oh, you're 6-3 immediately.
Should be good. Yeah.
Everybody had that as a win. Preseason, when you go through the schedule and you're like win, loss, that was always a win. And we
to
got
be fair,
blown
it's
out by
Patriots. But Patriots, who had the number 3 pick last year.
That was one of the worst. That one is what I know. We're going to do our season in review, but that game, wow. I still can't believe that ass kicking happened.
Dare I say the worst one of the season? I mean, that was brutal.
Save that for the offseason, because we're gonna rank. We're gonna rank these losses.
all the
That's
losses.
a great way. We're gonna rank the losses. That's gonna be an episode. Stay tuned. I love it.
Yeah, that's
Don't
about a
give that
4-hour
away.
episode.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, well, ranking the wins is
Seriously, because we could have
we could do
how
a
many losses?
YouTube short.
We could have 13 losses on the season.
For sure.
Oh my God. We have
that one's gonna be 3 hours long, but when we do the rank the wins, it's gonna be a YouTube short, like a minute long. So
yeah, be quick. Knock it out.
Man, that's hilarious but sad at the same time. So
It is.
well, speaking of sad, Jack, you want to pull up the 4K tracker, and then we're gonna get to the Packers game. I think we all know
guys,
how we
let's
feel
be
about
honest
this game.
here.
But
I think we all know there's not much to preview, so this one is a little bit of a filler episode. But we do have our bold takes, we have our predictions, and just like we always do. So that's coming up. But yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
4K tracker. And let's cry a little bit.
all right, look, there's a chance. There's a chance. Okay. So we talked about the biggest thing here was that Caleb just needs to not have a bed shitter, you know? Just don't do something where you're in the 150s or less, right? He does that. 122. We scored 3 points. We lose 6-3 on primetime. Sorry to to remind everyone, but what a fucking game. We're looking at a year in review now, and you can see how many games there was at least, 174 we thought was bad. Week 2 against Houston. Week 1, week 4, week 8, week 14, and week 17. That is 6 games at least that are under 100 or at like 150 or under. Very bad. Sorry, I was reading a comment. I saw a typo here. There might be one. But anyways, not great, right? So you take those 6 games of like 150, that's not even equaling 1,000 yards. If those 6 games were at least 200, 250, that's an additional like 1,500 yards added on. So because of all of that, Caleb Williams has to do something historic. 2 things historic, right? Because if he does the first one, the second one will probably happen. The first one, he has to throw for 607 passing yards in 1 week. So you're telling me there's a chance? Absolutely.
What's the record?
Yeah. In a game,
What is the
it's
record?
probably going to be
Do we
like 550 or something, right? I don't even think
There's
it's
no way
6.
he could do that. He has to be like 300,
no.
300 and a half.
No. After throwing 120, you want the man to throw 600. So
I
he's got to do
I would
that.
like to get That's one way
100% I
to
would
end the
love that.
season.
554 yards in 1951.
Okay,
Norm
so
Van
Caleb Williams.
Brockman.
Norm.
Yeah. Thank
Our
you.
guy
Thank
Shout
you,
out
Jack.
Norm.
So basically, Caleb has to break an NFL record. And then the second
happen.
historic thing that would happen from that is that would probably equate to a win, which we haven't done against the Packers in 6 years. So not looking great for the 4K
Oh,
tracker.
no. He would throw for 607 and lose.
Lose.
That's
Blocked field goal.
somehow.
Yeah. Blocked. Our 56-yarder falls up short. Okay. Let's go to the QBR tracker, though. This one's the worst one, I think. We kind of knew he wasn't going to hit 4K. But, man, Caleb was looking so good from he may not have had the yards, but he was playing well. And he just had a dud, man. It's just a bad one to have 1 week away.
It
from
may
the
have been
season.
one of it. You could argue that last week was his worst game I've seen. And he's had a couple stinkers. You can see it here just from the rating, but just overall, it looked awful.
Oh, man, missing passes, taking bad sacks. Yeah, it was tough. It's not souring my view of Caleb over a holistic level, but man, you'd want him to finish strong. So look, one way to do it, 607 yards, QBR of 115, you know what I mean? So it could happen. Probably not, because the game preview, Jackie bringing it up, it'll tell you exactly why that's not going to happen. And then we can get to, I know we skipped injuries, but we can get to that after this. So yeah, it's not great, guys. This is a good team. It's a playoff bound team. They have 20 footballs. That's a lot. I think the only other team that had above that was the Lions, which we already faced twice. Their offense is good. What's surprising is their defense all season has been good. Once they let go of what's his name that they all hated last year, the defensive coordinator, who was awful for the Packers, and they brought in the new guy from the NCAA. They've been pretty decent on that side of the ball. Us, on the other hand, there's nothing changed. The only thing that's actually crazy is our pass rush is top 5 now, and I think it's from a pressure rate standpoint, not sacks. But we talked about it. They get pressure, they just can't finish the play. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but, I'm just trying to find some silver lining here. But, yeah, we're not a good team. So you look at this, we're probably going to get stomped.
I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, I'm ready for – I don't want to go to our predictions. I want to go over the chart here. But, yeah, the Bears are just – this division just outclasses them. Like I said, I feel like they should be relegated. They shouldn't even be allowed to play in this game. It should just be a loss.
It should be like soccer. It should be like soccer, right? We get moved to another conference or another division because we weren't good enough to stay in the one, right? We got demoted, so that's what.
Dude, yeah, we can't.
That's what it should be.
We're just not confident right now, so
for sure.
Let's
Jack,
pull up the
injury
injury report, though.
Yeah, Dave, you can take that one.
Yeah, so Elijah Hicks, our DB, he's ankle foot. He did not practice all week. He is out. Running back Travis Homer, hamstring, did not practice all week. He is out as well. And then Tevin Jenkins, this is a big one, not just for this game, but of course, the financial outlook for him. And if he's going to be extended, again, we're going to talk about this all offseason about what the Bears should do in free agency. And it's going to start with extensions, and one of them is going to be Tevin Jenkins, and that conversation is going to happen. So, but he did not practice all week. He is out with a calf injury. And that's, like I said, who knows what that's going to look like for him in his future in Chicago, but we'll see. Lair Borum, illness, did not practice on Wednesday. He was full practice the rest of the week. He has no injury designation. Actually, every player I'm about to say actually has no game status, so they're going to be playing on Sunday. Kyler Gordon's good to go. He had an illness. Mercedes, I'm not even talking about it. Tavarius Moore, old. Tavarius Moore is going to play, and then Rome Odunze, another big one. So the illness kind of hit the locker room a little bit, but he did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. He is actually good to go. He practiced on Friday. So Bears are relatively healthy. Tevin's a big loss. But I think the biggest thing there is actually about what his future looks like in Chicago. So, but not bad for the Bears, all things considered. So we'll see if that produces anything. We'll see. So, but let's look at Green Bay. Wow.
Love the Excel sheet.
Yeah.
This is
impossible. Jair Alexander, he is out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to impact their playoff run or lack thereof, hopefully. Zane Anderson, concussion, he is out. Chris Brooks, running back, he's good to go. Javon Bullard is good to go with an ankle. Brenton Cox Jr., defensive line, he's questionable with a foot injury. He did not practice all week. Andre Dillard, concussion, he's out. Josh Jacobs is good to go. He had a wrist issue. He was limited all week, but full practice on Friday. Elton Jenkins, he rested. He's good to go. Tucker Kraft, good to go. It was more of a rest for those two guys. Quay Walker, linebacker, ankle. He is out.
He's been out for a minute.
Christian Watson, knee injury. He did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. He was limited on Friday. He's questionable for Sunday. Yeah, I don't know if you want to play him, but Evan Williams, I mean, they got a surplus of weapons out there too. So Evan Williams, quadricep. Is that right?
Quadricep. Yeah.
Quadricep.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Did not practice all week. He's out. Devontae Wyatt, their defensive line. Min concussion. He actually practiced in full and is good to go. So kind of lengthy. Some big guys out. Really interesting with Alexander being out, especially with the playoff run that they want to go on. So we'll see. But
you think they sit Watson? Like if I'm the Packers,
I wouldn't.
We don't lose to this team.
You want to win, yeah. You want to beat Chicago, but like you just said, Ficky, it's in Lambeau. We typically do.
Yeah. You're like, what do you?
Is this bad to say, dude? I don't know if I want to say it on like air, but Lambeau is like it is such a like the vibe. It's like so historic, dude. Like
for sure.
Their stadium, their environment, it is like. Dude. It's what I want in Chicago.
It's high school
football.
Tradition. It's high school football for NFL.
On
it's
a
in
giant
the middle
scale.
of bumfuck. Yeah, it's a middle of bumfuck in Wisconsin, right? It really is. Like it's the houses are like, yeah. Look, I'm from bumfuck, Indiana, so I understand. This is
funny.
The middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, and they dropped a stadium in there, and the stadium is pretty nice.
Great team.
The team wins. What I've actually been hearing though reports of, not like has anything to do with like Green Bay or the Packers themselves, is that though it used to be very much like Packer heavy in the fan and well, like with the, I would say like the percentage of fans, but a lot of people are selling their tickets now. You know, the economy's not great and whatnot. And so there's been some road teams that have kind of come in and it's been a little, it's not like it's not what you would expect typically from,
there's layoffs at the Cheese Factory.
Yeah, for sure. Jeez, that's hilarious. But yeah, no, I would want to go. That place looks electric. Chicago, upgrade your stadium, please. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so let's get to bold takes. Last one.
Bold predictions, bold takes.
Yeah, bold takes here. Our predictions are pretty bold too. Okay, so nothing's changed because we didn't actually give up bold takes last week for the Seattle game, and I'm glad because we would have missed all of them. There's no way we'd have got any of those right. So let's go to this week. I think it was right after Christmas. I don't think I had the over.
Oh, we were just like, let's just go live.
Yeah, because we went in the morning, so which was good. Okay, this is pretty bold. Caleb throws for 3 touchdowns. I've used this one once before, and I think Caleb threw 1 touchdown that game. So I'm hoping I don't see that, but I want a bounce back game. I don't care about the win or lose. I don't give a fuck. But Caleb, I want to feel a little bit better. Give me a little bit more hope or something I can ride into the offseason with.
Yeah, I like that. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, probably not. That's why it's bold. So
yeah,
and that's a good point. We might have new photos for the next season with our little floating head. So
we will. Yeah,
Stay tuned. This one is so sad.
It's sick, actually, right? Dark Dave. This is Dark Dave. If there's ever going to be a Dark Dave, I don't think we score. I don't think we're in Lambeau. We scored 3 points last week, and that we were at home, right? Yeah, we were at home, dude. I don't think we're scoring on this team. I don't trust Santos either. I'll say maybe we get a field goal, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be awful. It is going to be a poetic ending to one of the worst seasons. We're going to look back at one of the worst seasons we've ever had to witness in Chicago. So, sorry.
Oh, man.
And I would say I hope I'm wrong, but I kind of don't.
Mine, Caleb gets sacked 5+ times, think he gets murdered.
Should have added a 0, and then it would be bold.
Yeah, because this team has given up 5 so many times. It's still bold, but this team has given up 5 so many times. It's so
5
sad.
is bold. That's our average, dog.
I think that. What is he at?
I know what you're doing, and you're not tricking me. You're trying to bump up your win percentage. It's the end of the year, trying to get that nice little easy win.
No. We don't want that. We're getting. It's tank season over here. We're getting better. We're getting better picks going into the next season. So.
Yeah, you guys are the ones that suck. I already won. I already won the whole year.
No, it's true. It is true. He already won. How many sacks are they giving up though? Is it 60?
They were almost 70, right?
How many did they give up last game? I actually don't remember. Because they were at 60 before last game. Someone look.
So
at it.
he's
It
been
is
sacked.
67.
67. Oh my God! So you're
I
telling
want him to
me
get to 70.
that'd be tied the rookie record. So this team, so it's still kind of bold. This team has given up an average of 3.94 sacks a game, so about 4. So
I am too. I just don't think we're going to
that's
beat
crazy.
Green Bay.
No. God,
No.
bro. Yeah, but if Caleb gets sacked 4+ times, there's no way the 3 touchdown thing is happening or things like that. So
I'll be honest.
Wait,
I'll
what was
tell
that?
you, I do hope the Bears win. Like, I want them to play well. I just don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think
I want to
anybody
bring this
can
one up.
realistically feel good about that.
I want to bring this up with our OG in peril. Oh, by the way, if you're an OG in the chat, like in peril, there's a bunch of you in here. You guys are, first of all, fantastic. Thank you so much. Give a hashtag OG in the chat.
Thank
then
you.
also, if this is your first time here watching, first off, welcome to the Big Fucking Rod podcast. No, it's actually Bears Film Room, but welcome to the BFR podcast. Please give a hashtag new face in the chat, and we'll give you a shout before the end of the show. But in peril said Ficky's the last Bears fan standing on the BFR pod. Well, that was not the case 2 games ago. I think my last 2 bold takes were definitely on the negative side. Like, we were not going to do things. I want to end with a bang. So this is like my last chance effort to like be happy about this season. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Is it more realistic what Dave and Jack actually had for the bold prediction happening? Abso-fucking-lutely. So
Yeah,
we'll see
you're
what
just
happens.
delusional. It doesn't mean you're a bigger fan than us.
No, actually, that
mine. That's all that means.
well, I don't know. That might be us. Bears fans are delusional as hell. We came into the season
got a
thinking we could
problem.
do something. Let's go back to the preseason episode and let's see where we had.
Go back to that damn Hard Knocks outro on that last episode. Go back to that and tell me where we all were.
for sure,
Super Bowl
for sure. So
score prediction.
Yeah, so that's what we have there.
We can't even enjoy, like, our season was so bad that it honestly, Hard Knocks is going to be like it never existed, because there's not one person that will ever go back and watch any of that because of what transpired. It's like, if you had a decent season, it'd be like, okay, that was cool. Maybe I'll watch a little bit highlights again. It'll be nostalgic. No, this time, every time I'm going to see Flus in his slow motion, I'm going to throw up. It's going to piss me off every single time, because the only thing I'll remember is the Hail Mary, is the 3-game stretch against the division where we couldn't kick the ball. We got blocked every single time. And then Caleb Williams struggling, getting sacked, 9 times, twice this year? Just a brutal season. Brutal season.
Yo, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about all the stuff that you said, and it's just like, how did this?
It's not even
happen
half.
in
I'm scraping the. I'm not even
I'm
like.
saying it's
surface
crazy.
here.
We won 7 games last year, and this year we won 4.
Shout
I'm
out
sorry,
to Justin Fields, man.
Yo, please don't get that started, please.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We should do a whole episode on that.
Absolutely not.
Hey, Angie's gonna love
to
that
the-
one.
Welcome to the Big Fields Rod podcast. So,
Jesus, Ficky. Justin, you gotta cool it.
That's my bad. That's my bad. Okay, let's we need to transition. Let's go ahead and do our predictions here.
How do you
Surprise!
transition out of that?
I don't know. There's no good way to do it.
Predict.
Look, I don't really think we're gonna get 28. I know I probably shouldn't put 28 here, but for my bold prediction to happen, I need this could
38 on us.
Oh, no. They're stomping us. The Packers will come. They'll literally play a game. I think it's happened this year, the week prior, right? Look like absolute dog shit. Offense isn't connecting. J Love throws 2 interceptions. Once he sees the navy and orange, my man, it's like the opposite of kryptonite. Whatever that is to him is like, oh, I'm a Hall of Fame quarterback. And the man
Armed and dangerous, some could say.
Fear Jordan Love. Sorry, anyways, Marvel Rivals reference. All right, if any of you are Marvel Rival players out there, all 3 of us are. But yes, he always balls out against us, and so why would I think that he won't here? So again, 38. Maybe they just drop 40, just icing on the cake to our 28. So, but I just want Caleb to look good. That's all I care about.
I hope he does. My turn.
It's a big.
Did I give a score prediction? Oh, yeah, I did. 27-0. Oh man. There's not much to say here, folks. I never feel good against Green Bay. I said I would never pick the Bears to beat Green Bay until we actually do it. So I'm going to stick with it. I think this is going to be, I don't even know what loss it is in a row, but I think this was going to be, if they only score 27, I think that's actually pretty good. It's going to feel better.
Not if you score 0, Dave.
No, but I think if they keep us to 0, they're probably going to score 40 something. Let's be honest here. I was conservative. It could be looking, what's that graphic? That historic graphic, like halftime, where it's Bears Packers, and it's like on a, you know what I'm talking about, where it has the Bears score on it, where they're losing
the
like
one with
40 to something.
Oh yes, where we're getting killed.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I feel like it's that type of game, and that one was in Lambeau. It was like 2010, 9.
It was an older one.
I don't know,
but
yeah, it was a while ago.
Great.
So no faith.
I mean,
do I hope I'm wrong? Yeah, I would like to see a close game, but still lose. I'll be honest. I want that draft pick. So
definitely want that draft pick.
I do.
Jack, what about you here?
Little less doomsday. Still think we lose. This is actually the score prediction I'm most confident in the entire season. I can just picture this perfectly happening. I think
it does seem, yeah.
Doesn't it seem good? Like I see 4 touchdowns, field goal from Green Bay, and then us 2 and a field goal. Like I can just picture that. But I do think Caleb is going to play real well. I just feel like he's like built for the moment. It can't get any worse than it did last week. So
don't say that.
And there's nothing to lose now. I mean, you already threw the interception.
Exactly.
Play a little bit more loose because you threw the pick. It wasn't his fault, but he threw it.
He needs to play fucking loose, or in other words, floose. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, fuck floose. I don't know. Crazy season. I'm actually excited. I'm excited to kind of watch this one and see how it plays out, because after this, gentlemen, we're into the off season. No more. None of this crap matters anymore. Now it's about rebuilding this team. It's about the draft. Draft season is here. It is about free agency. I'm excited. Like I know this season sucks, but there's just so much to be excited about moving forward. We just have to get past this ass whooping that's about to occur in very, very cold temperatures in Lambeau.
Perfect transition. Go to Monday. Let's go to our Monday headlines, because I think my headline is actually something that we might want to pay attention to here. And that is polls in or out, right? If they get beat, Dave, like you say they're going to get beat, it shouldn't come down to one game, but wouldn't that be the icing on the cake? Be like, bro, look, you hired the coach. I can see both sides. You hired the coach, worst coach in NFL history. Well, Chicago Bears history, right? That's proven. Statistically, win-loss record-wise, he's gone, okay? Reports come out, you decide to rock with him. He's gone. Oh, yeah, thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. You are also, from a win-loss perspective, one of the worst GMs. Again, win-loss. You don't coach the team, but from a win-loss standpoint, worst GM in Bears history. Okay, not great. On the other side, we've talked about it. We just talked about it at the beginning of the show. He did not mitigate the future. So whether it's for him or somebody else, right? Cap space, great. Second year in a row, great. Draft picks, second year in a row, great. You may have lucked into this, but the Panthers trade, probably one of the best trades in NFL history, right? Got you Caleb Williams, probably the best quarterback prospect we've ever seen for Chicago. Great, right? So there is some reason to stay. There is some not. So I think Monday, right? We're talking about Sunday. Literally the next day is Black Monday, where normally coaches get fired, GMs get fired. You start your interview process. Some have already started, actually, like the Jets and whatnot. But you really go in and try to find out who your next brass is going to be, right? So that's what I'm actually paying attention for, because I'm not sold yet on either side, or I'm not super confident that he's going to stay or he's going to be fired.
Well,
there's some reports he said he might leave because of, I don't know how true. I mean, it's rumor season, but
quitter.
Like with the stuff with him, if he leaves, yes, that's 100% quitter. I'm with you on that. I don't think that'll happen, but but yeah, that's my Monday headline. So definitely going to be interesting.
Never mind. Saw that Jimmy Butler cup over there.
Oh,
Jack, I saw it. It's finally over. That's it.
Thank God.
That's it. Season's over. Polls era's over. It's over. Finally,
I
over.
love also editing that because it was from it's almost over last week.
Is that what I said?
Finally, yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's almost
perfect.
Oh,
I was like,
funny.
that is a
There's
beautiful.
some Bo
headline.
Burnham over there, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost over.
Mine is end of an era. And
Oh my
everyone's like,
God.
what era? Like, there's no era. Yeah, there is an era of losing and team sucks and Nate Davis's era, Ryan Poles' era, Matt Eberflus's era, Shane Waldron's era, Thomas Brown's era.
Short one.
I could go on and on.
Santos, no Santos.
I'm just
To be
kidding.
fair, it is an era though. This is look, we've seen bad football. This is the worst
Yeah,
3
for sure.
seasons ever in Chicago Bears history. Isn't that crazy?
And we were alive to experience it. Not just alive, we were the perfect age to watch them and understand.
And understand it. Yes, that's what sucks.
Yeah.
This happens when you're a
Six-year-old me,
kid,
I've been
you're
like,
whatever.
whatever.
Picking
Yep.
your nose and whatnot. We remember these so much.
Yeah.
Every game, every detail. So thank you, Chicago.
These are
We stuck
this is
arrow.
the dark age of just Chicago Bears football. But there's been a couple dark ages.
Yeah, this is
Too
like the
frequent.
darkest. Though. It's like not even a glimpse of light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all the
Yeah.
lights out, powers out, middle bumfuck
Yeah.
Wisconsin. Nothing,
Yeah.
not a light in sight. So, oh man, this team.
It is, yeah.
But hey,
Hey,
one more game.
One more game. We will be back to recap it right after. I think we have a noon o'clock. Oh my God. 12 o'clock, we're playing. Green Bay will be live like we typically are. Let's go ahead and get to our shout outs pick and then we'll get out of here. And we'll be back in a couple days.
Absolutely. Jack, thank you. Okay, Michael, who is a Hall of Fame Grizzly member. Reach out to him if you want to see how great the Patreon is. But thank you, Michael. # OG. Wow. Win, win, win. You know what? I do have a little bit of respect for those who are like, let's beat the Packers. That's how it should be. It's just the draft position. So I get that. Let's go Jerome here. Oh, I always say Jeremy, dude, like a normal ass name. Sorry, Jeremy. Thank you for the correction here. Look, we'll be corrected. # OG. Thank you, Jeremy. Jerome, that's not even a name, bro. All right. Domain expansion here. # OG. Can't wait for the offseason Super Bowl. Absolutely. Because that is our Super Bowl every year until we get disappointed week 1. And then in parallel said # OG. Lock pulls out of the building after Sunday. It always reminds me of that Jet. You see that Jet gif that happens every year? The guy trying to tap his card into the player and trying to tap in, he can't get in. Okay, Plastic Rockets here says # OG beat the Pack. So there's 2 people. I'm sure there's a couple out there. It's like, hey, beat the Packers. I get it. We have not beat this team in 6 years. It won't knock him out of the playoffs like the Lions had the opportunity last year, but knocking him to 7th seed, hey, I'm not mad about it. And then we got Philip in here, classic Phil, with a # OG. Fuck Green Bay. FGB, baby. Put FGBs in the chat before you head out. Appreciate it. It is Packers week. And it's the end of the season, so.
The most lackluster Packer week in a while, but we appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Again, it's been a crazy season, a lot of support. We appreciate it. Again, follow us on all socials. Show us again, presented by Sports Mockery. Check out all your Chicago sports stuff over there. Of course, my writings, and then of course follow the boys on Twitter and all their socials as well. So support's been unreal. Leave a like if you can. Subscribe. Really, really excited for the offseason. Heard the Bears are top 5, power rankings as far as the offseason rankings go. So it's going to be a fun offseason. Stick with us. We appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back on Sunday.
Peace.